This is the Genesis G70 Shooting Brake, the wagon version of the G70, and that means that it has a little bit more room than its sedan sibling and a whole lot of sexy styling at the rear. It competes against the Volkswagen Arteon Shooting Brake and the Volvo V60. I'm always partial to the Volvo because I own one, but the Genesis definitely lands a podium finish in terms of looks and styling. But how does it perform everywhere else? I've been driving it for the last week with my family of 3 to find out. In Australia, there's only one version of the G70 Shooting Brake, and it will cost you just under $77,000 before on-road costs. This particular one has the no-cost sports package, which just gives it a sportier look inside and out. It's more expensive either way than the Volkswagen and Volvo. You get a stack of features like heated and ventilated front seats, a sunroof, wide Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as these luxurious Napa leather quilted accented leather seats. The full specs are in my written review at carsguide.com.au if you want more info. The main descriptor that I've had from friends and family for this is that it's sexy. It looks more like a sports car than a family hauler with its 19-inch alloys, swoopy rear and twin exhausts. The quad LED lights at the front and rear add some pizzazz, and I really love the sharp bonnet at the front. It just makes it look like it means business, and that Genesis badge will earn you a few second looks. The interior looks delightful, and it all looks quite robust with the buttons and dials and this extra wide center console in an otherwise sleek interior, but it doesn't look out of place. The only thing that does look a little bit odd for me is the 10.25-inch touchscreen multimedia system that's just been plonked on the dash. There are so many soft touch points throughout, plus the sunroof and the black headliner mean that it feels very plush inside this cabin. Front passengers will definitely enjoy the most space with plenty of head and legroom, so much so that it feels like you're sitting in a limo, which is delightful. The individual storage up front is pretty good with a large utility tray and the usual drink holders, but the middle console and the glove box are a little bit shallow. I do really like the charging options up front though. You get 2 USB-A ports, a 12-volt port and a wireless charging pad, but I would have liked to have seen a faster USB-C port too. Everything is within easy reach for the driver and easy to see. The buttons are large and well placed, and I really like the mix between the touchscreen and the physical buttons. The multimedia system is easy to use and looks great. It also has satellite navigation and was simple to connect to the Apple CarPlay this week. I also really like the Harman Kardon sound system. It kind of feels like you're in a club when it gets going. I've enjoyed using the head-up display, and it's been really cool having the 12.3-inch 3D digital instrument panel. It took my eyes a little bit to get used to it because it's kind of like a hologram, but I still really like it. The sense of space from the front unfortunately isn't carried to the back seat. I'm 168 centimeters or 5'6", and behind my driving position, I can't actually fit my feet in the footwell. I've had to push this front seat forward to be able to sit comfortably. Now, if you have taller passengers or teenagers, they're going to moan on a longer trip in this. The amenities are a little bit lean back here. You have directional air vents, a single USB-A port, plus heated outboard seats. But that's it. And I would have liked to have seen climate control and an additional USB port just to add some added comfort. My 6-year-old found it to be a little bit squishy getting in and out of his monster booster seat, and I did have to push the front passenger seat forward a bit to accommodate him. There are ISOFIX child seat mounts on the outboard seats plus 3 top tethers, but 2 seats are definitely going to fit best. And if you're a tall family, good luck fitting a 0 to 4 rearward facing child seat too. The boot is decent at 465 litres, which is 135 litres more than its sedan sibling. But because of the hatchback style opening of the lid, does mean that you lose a bit of height at the front and bigger items will have to fit at the back. It has a temporary spare tyre underneath the floor as well as a removable cargo net. And I've really enjoyed having the hands-free powered tailgate, because if you get close enough to the boot and you have the key in your pocket or your hand, it will automatically open for you. This has a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo petrol engine with a maximum power output of 179 kilowatts and 353 newton meters worth of torque. It's got plenty of power that you feel like it cruises very happily on the open road, but you do feel like you're digging for that power sometimes. It's a rear-wheel drive with an 8-speed automatic transmission, and I do feel like it produces very smooth gear changing. Overall, this has been very pleasant to drive. It handles itself gracefully both in the city and on the open road, but you do have to be quite firm with the accelerator on hills if you want to keep your speed up. I did notice a small lag when you accelerate from a full stop. Almost like that this is a very big lazy cat that needs to be enticed to get going. The steering feels very concise and I was able to do a winding road without too much roll, but it's not as firmly placed on the road as other wagons that I've sampled. The suspension is quite firm, but still very well cushioned. Even at lower speeds, the road noise can creep up quite a bit in this. It's not enough to really intrude on chatting, but you're not going to forget that it's there. I have loved parking this. The 11-meter turning circle and 360-degree view camera makes light work of even a tight car space. I also really like that the parking guidelines are projected on the ground at the back. Just makes it easy to line up a space. Something I will note though is that the parking sensors can get tripped quite easily in stop-start traffic in the city, but otherwise, very breezy. The official combined fuel cycle is 9.1 litres per 100 kilometres, and my real-world usage came to 10.1 litres. I did a really healthy mix of open road and urban driving this week, so that figure wasn't too surprising for a turbo of this size. Based on the official fuel cycle and the 60-litre fuel tank, you should be able to achieve a driving range of roughly 659 kilometres. There are lots of safety features for the G70, and I really like the blind spot view monitor, which pops a video feed of the blind spot onto your instrument panel. I think it's a really handy feature for the city. This has a maximum 5-star ANCAP safety rating from testing done in 2018. It also has 8 airbags, including the newer front center airbag. The full safety specs are in my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au if you want more info. The ongoing costs for this are really good. It comes with a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty and complimentary servicing, yes, you heard that correctly, complimentary servicing for up to 5 years or 50,000 kilometres, whichever occurs first. It's offers like that that really makes you feel like you're getting looked after, which is always a lovely feeling. Servicing intervals are okay at every 12 months or 10,000 kilometres, whichever occurs first, which could get a little bit annoying if you do put a lot of Ks on your car every year. The Genesis G70 Shooting Brake wins with its looks and style, but the practicality of that back seat did make me feel a bit underwhelmed. And I think this will suit small families best, or those who have children who have already flown the nest. I really like how it handles itself on the road and the luxe features up front, but it's the ongoing costs which pushes this to get a 7.5 out of 10 from me. My son really liked how it looked and the sound system, and he gives it an 8 out of 10. If you're after more details, check out my written review at carsguide.com.au, and I'll see you next week.